Morning, YouTube. Um, Got this topic that I want to talk about, and I'm very interested on people chiming in and tell me what you think about this. It's pretty controversial. I discussed this with just about all of my female clients and just my friends, and it's this whole idea of uh, being a welfare queen, whatever that means. I understand that it has some racial connotations and also some, just some social connotations. But I take a different approach to it, and hopefully, it'll stimulate some good dialogue, and try to share this video. This whole idea of welfare to me is a ludicrous position, and the reason that it is because most people, if they had a choice, would want someone else to pay for their subsistence. That's just the way people are, especially women. So the idea that a person who is on welfare, who gets money from the state or whatever particular reason, to me is no different than a woman who looks for a man to take care of her, whether they can mask it by saying, "Oh, well, he's a good provider." Even if they meet him in college, they can say, "Oh, well, he's a good provider." What they're looking for a handout. They're looking for someone to take care of them. And I don't know too many women that if they were asked, if they had a choice of who would pay for a ticket or who would, like if you're going out to dinner or anything, if you had a choice of someone else paying for it or you paying for it, I don't know too many women who would say, I would pay for it. Now, I do realize it's 2013, and women will say, no, I'd rather pay my own way, and I wouldn't have a problem paying my own way. What they're saying is they don't have a problem from time to time paying their same way. But they don't really believe that as a fundamental principle. They just don't. I don't. The only difference is it's the means. So a person who's on welfare, whether they be black, white, whatever they are, they're looking for someone to take care of them. They're looking for a check or something. Well, so are suburban women or women who look for men to take care of them. And Really, what I think is it all goes back to a simple principle. Marriage should not be a contract. Number one, government shouldn't even be in marriage. There should be no marriage certificate. There should be nothing. You remember when you first was dating your girl or your guy or whatever, and you knew that certain tension or that certain edge that was there. You know why it was there? It's because there was no guarantee that person was going to be there tomorrow. There was no guarantee other than that person's word. Nothing. There was no guarantee. So, yeah, of course it kept you on edge. But I think men lose out when they get married because of the laws, because of the state. They lose out. And I'm saying marriage is a biblical institution. It wasn't created by man. If you go back to its genesis. Now, what you'll find is that man is a part of it, yeah, for many reasons, for insurance, for benefits, for many particular reasons, but it's not a worldly institution. Not from its genesis. It's a biblical institution. It's a spiritual institution, supposedly. And nowhere in the Bible does it even suggest that you have to have some type of piece of paper to be married. Now, in the Old Testament, they talks about writs of divorce, and that's another topic that we can talk about. But that has nothing to do with marriage. It is a vow. And then secondly, I'll say the most important vow that you ever make, especially as a person who is a follower of God or a Christian, is the vow you make to God. We say that is the most important commitment we ever make. There is no contract. God tells us to be faithful till death. We sign no contract. It is something that we have to live out every single day of our life. So why is it that our most important commitment that we'll ever make as an individual, from a Christian perspective, to God, there is no contract, there is no piece of paper, there is nothing but a person's life and how they live every day that substantiates it. Why is it that we want to put that bind on marriage? You know why? Is because people want a guarantee. They want guaranteed funds. They want a guarantee. So people tend to lean toward collectivism. It doesn't matter whether they're conservative or liberal, or whatever. Just as a, it just seems like it's a humanistic thing to want someone else to take care of you. A good pamphlet to read, and who got me to reading this was Ron Paul, and that's Bastiat. It's just a little pamphlet. It's like 3 pages long, and it just talks about the law. And what it simply states, well, you read yourself, but it talks really about the mentality of man and how man, if left to his own devices, and if it was his choice of what he would do, he would rather somebody else do most of the labor and him to get all of the benefit or most of the benefit. So he took it from a psychological standpoint or a social standpoint. So it'd be interesting to hear you chime in on this. I talked to a lot of my female clients, and they could not even contemplate getting married without some type of a contract. And whenever I asked them, how come you can't get married without a contract? I mean, without going downtown and having the state sanction it. They cannot give me a good reason why. They can't give me a biblical reason. The only reason that they would say there's no way they can do it. I think I ran into one woman who said that she would get married under biblical circumstances without having a contract. I haven't met another one yet, and I'm 45 years old. I would be interested to hear what the women have to say in regards to this. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it to with your friends and families. But I definitely like to get this discussion going because it does get to the root of what people think when they talk about welfare queens. I think all these people want somebody else to take care of them. Chime in. I'm interested to read your comments.